Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to NFL Thoughts. And last night, you guys, of course, saw the video where we talked about the Cowboys' victory over the Giants. And I talked about that today. We were going to go over our predictions of week 3 because week 3 is now in the books. So, with that being said, we will get to how well we actually did. Now, I already know I did very well. I don't even have to do that, look through it, but I just want to look to see exactly how well I actually did. So, I'm going to look through, and I'm not going to have you guys wait for me to wait like this, so I'm going to pull it up, and then I'll catch you guys here in a second. Alright, people. It's about that time. Alright, let's get to these week 3 predictions. So, starting off with Thursday Night Football, I predicted that the Browns were going to beat the Steelers, and I predicted that it was going to be a rout. It wasn't quite a rout as the final score might show, 29-17. You know, they beat them convincingly. But actually, believe it or not, this was actually a close, tight game the whole way, all the way up until, then the final score, the Browns picked up a fumble on a hook and ladder by the Steelers, and they, of course, fell on it. Browns player fell on it in the end zone, and it was 29-17 final score. So I got that one correct. I said that the next game, I predicted that the Dolphins would beat the Bills, and I got that one correct. Dolphins won 29-19. Now here's the biggest crazy wildness of that game. The Bills had 41-19. The Bills beat the Dolphins 41-19 in time of possession. They beat them 90 plays versus the Dolphins, who had 39 plays. And they beat them with well over 400 yards of total offense versus the Dolphins, who had over 200. They had twice as many. They doubled every single stat line that the Dolphins had, except for the score, of course. The Dolphins won 21-19. And guys were getting hurt. It was hot, humid down there. Guys were going down with injuries. They were cramping up really bad. So it all came down to Josh Allen almost getting sacked on that final play, but then he, was able to get out of it and throw the ball to Isaiah McKenzie. McKenzie tries to get out of bounds. He could not, and the Bills try to hurry up to the line. I knew when there was 6 seconds left on the clock, when they were trying to hurry up, I was like, they're not going to get this play off. They're going to run out of time. All right, this is game over. So that's exactly what happened. Also, by the way, Josh Allen and the Bills since last year are now 0-7 in one-score ball games. So, with that being said, I got that one correct. Bengals-Jets, I knew I was going to get that one right. I knew sooner or later the Bengals were going to eventually, get back on track and get their first victory, and they're going to start saddling up some wins. And they beat the Jets 27-12. Burrow had a good game. Jamar Chase, T. Higgins had a really good game. Nonetheless, Joe Flacco basically went back to being Joe Flacco. Last week we all saw what transpired against the Browns in the final 2 minutes. Nonetheless, got that one right. Next up, we have Raiders-Titans. I actually did not get this one right. I thought the Raiders were going to win. I felt like the Raiders, they've been in their games and they've had a chance to win. Meanwhile, the Titans lost to the Giants week 1, and then they got blown out 41-7 by the Bills. And I just felt like, you know what, the Titans may not they're not in very good shape right now. They're not looking too good. Meanwhile, the Raiders, they can get back on track and get their first win. But obviously I was wrong. The Titans won 24-22. So that's our first one that we've gotten wrong. That is our first one that we've gotten wrong. Scroll down. And then up next, I predicted the Panthers to beat the Saints. Everybody said the Saints were going to win, but me personally, I thought that Jameis Winston was that guy. I really did. I thought he was that guy. Turns out he's not that guy. Jameis Winston has not done very well over the course of the first couple of weeks of the season. All right, the Saints barely beat the Falcons, and then they lost, of course, to the Bucks last week. And I'm thinking the Saints don't look too good, so I'm going with the Panthers. This time, unlike the Raiders-Titans one, I was correct about my argument, and the Panthers won 22-14. So now there's 4 out of 5 in the books. Ravens-Patriots. I predicted that Lamar Jackson and the Ravens would beat the Patriots. Matter of fact, I almost predicted exactly what happened 3 years ago when MVP Lamar Jackson beat the Patriots 37-20. He scored 5 touchdowns. In that game, he threw 3 touchdown passes. Nonetheless, this time it was 37-26. Lamar scored 5 touchdowns, threw 4 touchdown passes. So it was almost exactly like what happened 3 years ago. Anyway, I got that one correct. Then Lions-Vikings. I predicted this would be a high-scoring game, and it was technically a high-scoring game, but I thought both teams were going to be in the 30s, but they were both in the 20s. The Vikings won with Kirk Cousins throwing a touchdown pass, a game winner to KJ Osborne, and the Vikings won 28-24. But the Lions have looked pretty good so far this season. They look like a team that it's not going to be easy against them. And then, of course, Eagles-Commanders. I said that I think that the Eagles are probably going to win, but I was rooting for the Commanders. I'm not going to lie. It's like I said that I think the Eagles are going to win, but I'm rooting for the Commanders to knock off the Philadelphia Eagles. And clearly we weren't even close on that. But nonetheless, I did get that one right. Eagles won 24-8. They still haven't scored a single point in the second half, I believe, all year long. Nonetheless, let's get down to the ones that were very surprising to me. Colts beat the Chiefs. 20-17. And while I'm not, surprised that Mahomes and the Chiefs offense kind of struggled in this game, I was very surprised that the Chiefs defense did not, rise up to the challenge. But nonetheless, I got that one wrong. We are now 6 out of 8 on our predictions. But now, then, the Texans won. The one with the Texans and Bears. Bears actually won this game, and this was actually a really good football game. I thought the Texans were, with that defense, and Davis Mills is probably going to do well in this game. I thought that Texans will win this. I was wrong. The Bears won, and they are now 2-1, tied with the Packers and Vikings for first place in the NFC North. And yeah, so I got that one wrong. So now I've gotten 2 straight wrong, and we are 6 out of 9. But it's all right. But it's not right, all right, because then I predicted the Chargers would beat the Jaguars, and I wasn't even close on that one. Jaguars beat the Chargers 38-10. And who the hell saw that coming? So now I am 6 out of 10. Make that 6 out of 11 because I predicted the Cardinals would beat the Rams. And the Rams beat them 20-12. And yeah, so now we are 6 out of 11. We're not looking too good now. But then we kind of got things back on track a little bit. We predicted that the Packers would beat the Bucks 14-12. So that's 7 out of 12. We predicted the Falcons would beat the Seahawks, get their first win of the year. So now we're 8 out of 13. We predicted the 49ers to beat the Broncos, but then we got that one wrong. So now we're 8 out of 14. But then we predicted the Cowboys to beat the Giants, and we got 9 out of 15. Wait, that doesn't sound right. So we got our first 3 right, and then we were wrong on the Titans-Raiders one. So that's 3 out of 4. Then Panthers, 4 out of 5. Ravens, 5 out of 6. Vikings, 6 out of 7. Eagles, 7 out of 8. Okay. And then we got the Chiefs one wrong, 7 out of 9. Texans one wrong, 7 out of 10. Chargers one wrong, 7 out of 11. Cardinals one wrong, 7 out of 12. But then we got 8 out of 12 after predicting the Packers, 9 out of 12 after predicting the 8 out of 12 after predicting the Packers, 9 out of 13 after predicting the 7 out of 12. I'm sorry, guys, my counting isn't all that up to par. 8 out of 13 after the Bucks, 9 out of 14 after the Seahawks won, and then 9 out of 15 after we got the 49ers one wrong, the Broncos won. But then we predicted the Cowboys to win 23-16. Well, we didn't predict that, but we did predict the Cowboys to beat the Giants. And we got 10 out of 16 to finish week 3. So I didn't do as well as I thought I did. We started off well, but then we slowly let the wheels come off near the end. But nonetheless, this is so far the best we've done This is so far the best we've done so far this year. So 10 out of 16, that's actually pretty good. It's actually pretty good. So as far as my predictions, I got 10 out of 16 right. So for the most part, we did well. But we're going to try to improve on our predicting when we get to our predictions for tomorrow when we predict week 4. So that has been my time, guys, and this is NFL Thoughts out.